First off, I'd like to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to those apostles and elders from Great Millstone who teach and rule well. A lot of respect to you brothers out there on the highways and byways preaching this truth around the four corners of the earth. And salutations to the hopeful elect that you guys may be sealed soon. And with that, this is your brother Dewad Bar from the branch of GMS here in Chicago, coming right back at you with a little lesson. And, I'm sitting up here listening to Trump get his little speech. Now, he gave us maybe a few weeks ago, a week ago. I'm not sure exactly when, but I know it was a little bit of time ago, not that far back. But either way it goes, you can sit up here and see this is how these devils are, man. Only thing Trump want to do is make America white again. That's all it's about. Really, that's really what it really is about. But now you sit up here and hear him talk about how these farmers, and you sit up here and hear how these Hispanics that they deporting, and these ICE agents are arresting and picking up and doing whatever they doing, and now these farmers are suffering. So he's sitting up here saying, well, if you farmers could vouch for him, man, we'll keep them and let them do the work. But it's how he's wording it. He's saying they can work hard, they bend over, they work all day. See, Trump, it's all about the slavery work, man. They pay these people very little of nothing to sit up here and do this work, that labor, just like with our people back in the day, picking cotton, picking sugar, and all the other stuff that they done and didn't get paid for it at all. Got brutally beaten, working a massive amount of hours, But hey, these are the curses we under, and these goddamn devils going to pay for it, man. These devils are going to truly pay for it. But with that, man, before I even play this, let me sit up here and grab this real quick. Matter of fact, I was going to grab Deuteronomy, but I'm going to sit up here and grab this first, man. Deuteronomy was on my mind, but I think I want to go to Zechariah chapter 11. Here it is. This is Zechariah 11 and 4. It says, "Thus saith the Lord thy power, feed the flock of the slaughter, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. And they sell them and say, Blessed be the Lord, for I am rich. And their own shepherds pity them not." And hey, this is under we under the curses, man. Hey, look, these motherfucking devils right now are in power. And since we sit up here and disobeyed the Lord, hey, guess what? We was given over to a nation of really wicked ass, evil ass people. And guess what they do? They sell us. They make us work. They say I'm rich. After they sold us, here it is. They work us to death so we can profit, so they can get the profits and we get nothing. Them Hispanics that be working in the farms out in Florida and California and wherever else they working at, do you honestly think they getting paid a great wage or a decent amount of money? I bet you they not. Bet you ain't nowhere near they getting paid that type of money. But it's work. And these motherfuckers profit off of it. And that's what Trump is about to speak on. So with that, man, let me sit up here and let him play. And like I said, fair use. This is the Copyright Act of 1976. I'm not using this for any type of monetarily or financial gain. I'm just using this for teaching purposes only. So here we go.
Mouth. You got to hear it from the horse's mouth.
But last month, American-born workers gained 830,000 new jobs, a record. That's American-born. While the illegal aliens lost 340,000. Now, we don't want bad for them, but look, we have a country to run, and we want to have them come in, and we want to have them help our farmers. You probably saw I got myself into a little trouble because I said, I don't want to take people away from the farmers. And we're going to do something I think that's going to be good because we want all the criminals out. Everybody agrees that we're finding the criminals, the murderers, the drug dealers. We're getting them the hell out of here. But the farmers, some of the farmers, many of you sitting right here, I have 4 friends right in the 5th row. But some of the farmers, they've had people working for them for years. And we're going to do something. We're working with Christy. And we're going to do something that we're going to sort of put the farmers in charge. And if a farmer's...
Listen to what he's saying, bro. We're going to do something. We're going to work with Christie, the head of the Department of Homeland Security, and we're going to put the farmers in charge. He's talking about the landowners in charge of the people, okay?
Been with one of these people that work so hard. They bend over all day. We don't have too many people can do that. But they work very hard, and they know them very well. And some of the farmers are literally, cry when they see this happen. If a farmer is willing to vouch for these people, in some way, Christy, I think we're going to have to just say that's going to be good, right? We're going to be.
If the farmers are willing.
So there you go. Ain't no need sitting up here listening to the rest of it. Y'all heard what he said. He's sitting up here trying to, however he trying to word it. But he said, I'm going to put the farmers in charge. So if you're putting the farmers in charge, that's no more different when you go back in the day and you got the motherfucking slave masters in charge whipping your ass if you stop doing something, doing this or doing that. The only thing now is that they might be paying you a little bit money and you still out there working like a damn dog, But that's what these motherfucking so-called white people want you to do, man. They want you to sit up here and work for pennies and do what they want you to do, And here it is, this guy. Hey, keep doing what you're doing, Trump, man. The more you do what you do, the quicker the kingdom come. That's all we waiting on. We love what you're doing. We hate it, but we love it. We hate it because, these are our people. But we love it because the more you do what you do, the quicker our kingdom comes. And then you're going to pay for it in the kingdom anyway. But with that, man, let me sit up here and grab a few scriptures. And the first one, I sit up here and showed you Zechariah. I want to go ahead into Deuteronomy because that's where I wanted to go earlier. People tend not to understand Deuteronomy 28 explains everything. And a lot of our people don't even look at Deuteronomy 28, dismiss Deuteronomy 28. These pastors don't sit up here and teach Deuteronomy 28 and let our people know exactly why we in this in the situation we in. Disobedience. But here, this is Deuteronomy 28. I'm going to start at 15 and then I'm going to go down. I'm going to jump down from 15. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statute which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. And I'm going to read 16. It says, cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field. So when it says cursed when thou shalt be in the city, yeah, like we in the city here in Chicago, over in New York City and all these other places, you're going to be cursed. But in the field is the world. You're going to be cursed no matter where you go. So even if you're a so-called Black, Latino, or Native American in some other country, you're going to be cursed over there. You can't escape the curses, man. No matter where you are. It's just majority of our people over here in America, aka Babylon the Great. A lot of our people over here, and that's why this place is going to be a big ass altar. The Lord is going to totally wipe out this country. Wipe out America, Babylon the Great. It ain't going to be nothing here but desert creatures when that time comes. Because this place got a lot to answer for. Filthiness. But let's jump down. I'm trying to see where I really want to jump down to. I think it's around 30, 37. No, it could be a little further down. Salakia, brothers. Yeah, here it is. This is where I want to go. This is Deuteronomy 28. It said, the Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand, a nation of fierce countenance which shall not regard the person of old, nor show favor to the young. So what group of people haven't showed favor to none of our people, whether they be old or young? Our young men get shot down the street, our old men get beat up and crippled and all sorts of stuff, disrespected. They don't show favor to nobody. It says as swift as the eagle. There's always little clues that the Lord put in these scriptures. That's in the scriptures. That's in his truth, in his gospel. And gospel being good news, good tidings. When you say swift as an eagle, what's the bird here in America? The eagle. Sometimes people got to sit up here and put things together, but our people don't sit up here and try to think about nothing. Don't sit up here and try to read anything. Don't sit up here and try to learn anything. Here it is, you got Google, and our people can't even. Here it is, you got Google, you got the internet, and you still don't want to learn nothing. Still stupid. And this is the information age right here, and people still stupid, just blind as hell. But the whole point of the matter is that, hey, what's this group of people? The so-called white man. Well, the so-called white people, really. But this is the white man, really. And he's going to pay. They all going to pay. They all going to be wiped off the face of the earth after the 8,000 years of slavery, But this white man truly going to pay for the shit he's going to pay for, And we can't wait to get DJ T in there, because he going to definitely be feeling it in the kingdom. He going to get fucked up. But either way it goes, this is that group of people, man. Fierce countriness, don't give a damn about nothing. Treat you just like trash. Now, you know what? It says in, there was another part that I want to sit up here and go to. No, it was, hold on. Salakia, brothers. I was looking for something now. Yeah, here it is. You know what? I should have read up. This is Deuteronomy 28:47. Because thou servest not the Lord with thy power, with joyfulness, and with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things. Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemy, which the Lord shall send against thee, and hunger and thirst, and the nakedness and want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck, until he have destroyed thee. And there you go. A yoke of iron. You're going to serve your enemy. What's serving? That's bondage, slavery. You know, and the same thing Trump is speaking of in his little speech of his. You know, he just saying it in so many ways. Oh, the farmer's going to be in charge, and if they say that these guys can work, okay, well, they can work. People don't sit up here and understand it. These goddamn devils have a lot to pay for, man. They're going to pay for it. And he's speaking it plainly. And these people are cheering this bullshit. You know, cheering it. Not even knowing that your own people is going to sit up here and do you wrong too and give you the raw diggity dog. But y'all too stupid to even recognize that. Because you got that mentality of that racist mentality. You know, too blind to sit up here and see that your own people are the ones that's truly fucking you and been fucking you for years. You know, these elites don't give a damn about no lower cat-ass white person. They just use y'all for their bid and use y'all for what they want. Just like they use these women, the so-called black woman, to fuck over the so-called black man. They using y'all so-called lower level white people to fuck us over while they fucking y'all over and y'all don't even see it. Stupidity, man. You know, and that's one of the scriptures, you know, and it says, oppression make a wise man mad. Oppression should make you mad, man. When you sit up here getting fucked over, you getting beat up, getting downtrodden, getting screwed over. It's supposed to make you angry, but a gift destroyed the heart. And there you go. Not only have a gift destroyed Eve's heart, and some of you stupid young niggas, you know, who do what y'all do, but even their own people sit up here, you know, not even understanding that they feeling the same pain, that they're going to feel the same pain, but they still believe in a country that really is going to fuck them over. Stupidity. But let me sit up here and I'm going to jump down. This is Deuteronomy 28. And yeah, I'm just going to read 68. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 68. And it says, the Lord thy power shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bond men and bond women, and no man shall buy you. No one's going to redeem you. No one's going to get you out of this situation, you know, except our Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shai, is coming to redeem his people through the power of Yahweh. And Yahweh gave Yahweh Shai dominion over everything. He's in control of all. Period. You know, through the power of Yahweh, the Father. And that's who we waiting on to get us up out of this situation. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, to get us up out of this fucking place and get us away from these fucking people. You know? But too many people too stupid to even sit up here. You read this part right here. It's sitting up here saying, bring you into Egypt again. Why does it mean that? With ships. Who else has came over into a country with ships? Who's been downtrodden and sold as bondsmen and bondwomen? That means slavery. Who else has it happened to? You know, you fucking people, man, can't even sit up here and see shit, man. Too blind. Because you got some goodies here. You got a nice little job. Little car, little house. I love it. Dumbasses. Don't even see the oppression because you're too stupid trying to be comfortable in a place that's about to be lit up. But that's our people, man. That's our people, man. Don't understand that. Don't understand. But, there was someplace else I want to sit up here and go, and my mind is kind of slipping on me. Salakia. There was someplace I wanted to sit up here and go. Salakia, brother, I'm having a little bit of a brain cramp. Oh, let me go to Matthew. That's where I was. Matthew 24. Oh, no, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. That's where I was going. Salaki, it wasn't Matthew. It was Ezekiel 35. That's where my mind is. Dang. This is Ezekiel 35. And see, this is what the point that I was gonna sit up here and say that's gonna happen to you motherfucking goddamn devils, man, for what y'all have done. For all the shit y'all have done. This is Ezekiel 35, and I'm going to start at 1. It says, Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir, and prophesy against it, and say unto it, Thus saith the Lord thy power. Behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. And you know, and Mount Seir is where Esau, Edom dwelled. So that's what it means. See, like I said before, people don't understand when the Lord speaks. You know, sometimes he use analogies, sometimes he use parables. And with the scriptures, sometimes parables, analogies, and certain things. It gives little clues to sit up here and give you to who he's talking about. And a lot of our people too stupid to try to understand that. It says, I will lay thy cities to waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, said the Lord thy power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. And there you go. You know, because our iniquity had to end. You know, even once they sit up here and let us go in that Emancipation Proclamation, that bullshit, guess what? All we did was get transferred over to something else. And it got even worse. So once slavery, what you would say, they say slavery was over, it got even worse, because now, since, you know, having slaves, it was big business, so you just didn't want to kill your slaves. You know, there was money. They were worth something. But now that you had no more control over the slaves, guess what? Now we became hunted. You know, they put us in prisons and still used us, abused us. You know, they became even worse once slavery was actually over, or once you so-called it was over. You got even worse, because now that you didn't own us, now that they so-called say we were free, now all of a sudden, guess what you did? You put the hammer down even harder and start pursuing us and killing us, wiping us out, you know? And you're going to pay for it, man. Pay for it, you know? All Trump talking about is bullshit. And he's going to pay for it. And we can't wait to get y'all in the kingdom, man. Can't wait. Or what is that? You know what? Actually, matter of fact, I ended on that. Can't wait to get you fuckers in the kingdom. This is Revelations 13 and 9. If any man have a ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. And there you go. That's what we waiting on. He that leadeth into captivity. What you think that mean? Must go into captivity. So if you sit up here and got a man in captivity, guess what? You're going to go into captivity. This is the Lord speaking. He that killeth with the sword will be killed with the sword. What you think that is? That eye for an eye. You're going to pay for the shit you done. Esau, Edom, you Edomites, you so-called white people which are really red, you're going to pay for it. So with that, I'd like to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to those apostles and elders from Great Millstone who teach and rule well. A lot of respect to you brothers out there on the highways and byways preaching this truth around the four corners of the earth. And salutations to the whole four elect that you guys may be sealed soon. And with that, I always say stay prayed up, brothers. Pray for each other, because we're almost up out of here. So with that, I like to say Kwam Yasharella and Abba Babal and Anya Habatham Malakiam. Shalom.